you are most welcome.
Thank you, Bill. I'm very glad to be here. It's such a pleasure. It's a joy to sit with you here this morning and share. And very good morning to you, our listeners. I hope you're having a very fantastic Sunday morning.
Yes, listeners, we hope you are having a fantastic morning from Isha. So where do we start from, Isha? Tell us your names and where you're coming from and what you do.
Excellent. Thanks, Bill. My name is Mwebaze Kabampene Isharaza. And now that's a mouthful, so most people just call me Isha.
Yes, we do call you Isha.
We say, to cut a long story short.
Yes.
Yes, and as has been said, I work at Africa Retreat Center as programs director. Africa Retreat Center, we sometimes call it ARC, is a specialized treatment facility for addictions and mental health. And we are located in Kololo, in Kampala, and we have another facility in Barara, in Kokonjeru. Yes, and that's what I do as programs director. I oversee the implementation of all our clinical programs across the board. Yes, I'm also a co-founder of Africa Retreat Center, but most importantly and most relevant to this discussion is that I'm a person in long-term recovery from my addictions to substances. And that's partly what drove me into the field I'm working in now as a professional, but also as somebody with lived experience in addiction treatment and care. Yeah.
Exactly. That is very important. People are shy to talk about such kind of history, especially when you grow to be important like you are now.
I don't know about important.
No, it's
I know
important.
About growing. I don't know about important.
Important because so many people are suffering from substance use disorders, and they think it is not treatable. Yeah. And as we were talking even before this, I was telling you how people think rehabilitation doesn't work. We want to demystify that.
Let's break it apart.
Properly.
Split the atoms.
But in simple English, because we might confuse people if you decide to go
full technical, yes.
Yeah. So, Isha, you are most welcome to Stream UG Radio, and we hope you are comfortable and ready to share. But before we get to the rehabilitation and to your story, we want to know where you came from, as a child.
Yes.
And the first question is, what is your earliest? We want your story.
Yes.
Not your family's story. You might tell us, this one did this. Your story, What is your first memory as a child growing up?
Okay. Thank you. It's very hard to detach my story from my family, but I'll put the focus on me. For once.
Yes.
I can be selfish.
Please. Completely.
Yeah, so I grew up in a family of we are 5 children. My father and mother lived throughout my childhood. I grew up with both my parents in a fairly, I don't want to use the word well-to-do, but my father worked and so did my mother, and they provided.
Okay.
So if we're to go by the materialistic measures, I grew up fairly comfortable.
Okay.
We also grew up, I grew up in the times when Uganda was going through very turbulent times. One secret you don't know is that I was actually born in Tanzania, not in Uganda.
You were the ones who you were born when they were making saba.
Yes.
Okay.
My parents worked in Tanzania at the time. It was the East African community. So my father was in Tanzania, so was my mom. And that's where I was born.
Okay.
Soon after, a few years later, my family relocated back to Uganda after the breakup of the East African community. And the rest of my life, I lived in and out of Uganda, but mostly in and out because of the political turbulence. So
Okay.
you asked about my earliest childhood memories. A lot of them are pleasant, but some of them are not.
Mm.
I remember growing up playing with my siblings, with the neighbors. I grew up in a very comfortable neighborhood.
Mm.
Those days, those were the days when you knew your neighbors.
Yes.
There were no gates and fences, open fields. You know,
Mhm.
we moved and played with our neighbors. I could have a meal at my neighbor's house. The neighbor could discipline me, and I had no right to complain.
Yes.
Those were the days where
were the
the
days.
community parented, and that's the environment, fairly stable. But for the other outside political issues, however, I also grew up in a home where there were a few issues that caused me a lot of distress as a child. Okay. One of them was that my father was in and out of home.
Okay.
He worked long distance, and he wasn't at home for very long time, for periods. And so my earliest childhood, I missed out a lot on
fatherly love.
Yes.
Yes.
And when he was around, he was also a bit busy. So that I remember being a distress factor for me as a child, because I longed for my father many times. Yeah.
Okay.
Then fast forward to my teenage years. I don't know whether I can fast forward.
Please. Yes.
Yeah, so by the time I was around 12 years, I did the PLE and then moved to Senior 1.
Okay. So when did you move from Tanzania now?
No, we moved to from Tanzania in 1977, I think.
Okay.
Came back to Uganda.
I thought that was the turbulent time you were supposed to be going there instead.
No, the East African community broke, and I think everyone went home.
Okay.
To their respective homes. But when we got back here, my family lived first briefly in Kampala. Then my father was working at an institution in Tororo. And then in 1979, again, all hell broke loose. So a lot of my earliest memories, actually, the most vivid memories, because before 79, some of my memories are hazy.
Okay.
And later, of course, because I was drinking, I joke that I burnt a few brain cells.
Yes.
Yeah, but I remember the 1979 period. My family had to flee. We moved to Nairobi under very distressful circumstances.
Okay.
Came back to Uganda again after that. My father was off again to work. And then those were tough political times. If you move to fast forward to 1985, there was the coup.
Okay.
The first coup in 1985. Again, there's all this turbulence. We are all over the place, running up and down. Yeah, but those are the environmental factors. At home, I have to say that my mother, who I hold in very, very high regard, did a fantastic job in creating a lot of cushioning.
Homeliness.
Yes.
Let's call it.
Yes. And so home was a place I could say was happy
Okay.
most of the time. But then there were times when things were not that happy. Like most homes, I presume.
Was it
I
smoke or what?
Yeah, by the
Was
way.
it normal?
By the way, no, I was caned really properly. My father was never
You were
one to
stubborn?
job.
You look like you're a stubborn man.
Incidentally, my perspective varies from my father's, so I don't know whose version you take. I think I like to believe I was a very well-behaved guy,
Yes.
but that was not what the evidence on the other side showed.
Yes.
Yeah, but today it's really frowned upon when when a child is physically caned. Back then it was...
Especially by the neighbor.
Yes. Back then it was very normal normalized. In fact, it was applauded. And any errant behavior was attributed to you're not getting enough.
Yes.
In fact, I used to be told it's seems the only language you understand is the language of Kiboko.
Exactly.
So that was a part of my upbringing.
Yes. It's very interesting, and I think we'll come to this later because I think I have talked about it occasionally.
Yeah.
That this turbulence, because I was also born in that era, that it has a contribution to even how we turned out with our coping mechanism.
Very much so.
I'm glad you agree. So we shall continue.
Yes.
You had reached the point when you went to senior one.
Yes. So I went to senior one. I did my P7 in a very wonderful school called Rockview School. Those of you who know it.
Where is that?
It's in Tororo.
Okay.
In eastern Uganda. And from there, I went to a school, to this school. And at this point, I'm sure we're going to
College,
argue.
Kisubi.
That you said it's
the
a what?
School.
It's
you
a
said
what?
the school.
Yeah, you said
St. Mary's College, Kisubi.
That's a college.
The only.
That's a college, and it's for some lady called Mary, I think.
Please tell
I'm
us.
saying the school. So I went to Ntare School.
Oh, one of the schools.
No.
No, we know.
I would wish that for your own sake, you let it slide because you won't win that argument.
I won't win that argument. You might go too far. Okay.
Yes. So I went to Ntare School.
Yes.
And it was a very major life shift for me because I left the environment I was very used to, like most kids.
Yes.
I go to boarding school first time. It's a strange land. I knew a few people, but incidentally, Mbarara is my home, my home area. I come from Mbarara. But I was going back home to my home area for the first time, and my family wasn't there. Okay. So it was quite a major life change for me. So I got there, and man, I started getting serious cultural shocks. One of the things I remember in Ntare was what we used to call crude.
Crude, the one for drinking?
No. That's another crude.
Okay.
Like the way some of the boys would hurl insults at each other,
Yes, okay. That crude.
Crude talk,
Yes.
And I would hold my ears and I was totally traumatized. People are talking about body parts and and parents and mothers and oh my goodness. So that was one of my cultural shocks.
God you didn't give us an example.
No, the other senior likes to use those examples. He says something.
The senior. Okay.
Yeah. So I get there and I'm lost. I was totally lost in Ntare. I remember that the first term, which was very short, I was basically moving around like a zombie, totally confused. I met a few kids, students with whom I had been in primary school, and but life had happened.
Okay,
it didn't mean they were my friends.
Yes.
But eventually, I settled in, and then, as it turned out, and this is I say with a lot of hindsight, with much hindsight. They say hindsight is 20/20.
Yes.
I began drifting to other kids who were struggling like me for support.
Okay.
And these kids who were struggling like me were also looking for companionship. They were looking for to be soothed, to feel secure, to feel, and that's what I was looking for. And these kids, of course, being in that state, I became very, very vulnerable to suggestions from other people because I was not senior one.
Yes.
Yeah. So by the end of senior one, I was experimenting with cigarettes, tobacco, which some of the older kids were doing, and I also was experimenting with alcohol. But that's not the first time I had drunk alcohol.
Okay, let's go to the first time.
First time. So the first time I drank alcohol was, I think, I even remember the year, 1984,
Okay.
I believe. And what had happened was there was a party at home, and of course the adults were drinking and having fun, as was the
www.streamugradio.com.
yeah.
Marcel.
Yes.
Yes. So there was alcohol in the store, in the pantry at home. And so I was playing with other kids, some of whom are very interesting fellows now in life. If I told you, if I mentioned them, you'd be very intrigued.
Senior. Okay.
Some are seniors, some are pastors, some are apostles.
Name one apostle.
So we are running around playing with the kids in the neighborhood. And I go to the store. We say we need to drink. There's alcohol in the store. And there was, at the time, there was this, they call it Ajon. Ajon. It was in the store, the concentrated one.
Yes.
So I went and picked a mug full of that stuff.
Whose idea was it?
It's hazy now.
Okay.
But I can tell you that I took lead. I was very enthusiastic about it. And the thing tastes like porridge.
Okay.
That it's like taking porridge, ushera. So I get it and start drinking it. Now the rest is a rumor. What happened next?
You don't know.
Why I call it a rumor is I hear I did this, this, and that. So I hear it from now.
So what did you do? What did you hear?
So my friends tell me that I started running around. I was being funny. I was chasing them. But they were both boys and girls, so I don't know whether I was chasing girls.
Okay.
Anyway, what happened is I puked all over myself and passed out. And my mother picked me and carried me to
What age were you at that time?
We're going to discuss age.
Okay.
I told you there. Anyway, so I was about 9 years old.
Okay.
About 9-10 years old. Yeah.
The importance of the age is to relate to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I have no problems discussing my age. So I was, I think, about 9 years old. Yeah. So that's the first experience.
Okay.
So my mother takes me to bed. So now the rumor ends when I wake up, and I'm like, what happened?
Headache? What? Nothing.
I am a mess, total mess. I've got a headache. Then it's late. Of course, the party ended long time. So it's the next day that I'm hearing what happened.
Okay.
But I remember saying, the thing that I remember distinctly is I said to myself, that was fun.
Oh.
That was nice.
Now, let me catch you there because, I think I was also in P5.
Yeah.
About 10 years old, I think, or something.
Yeah.
When we went for a party.
Yeah.
And when I went for the party, we were insisting there was some bushera which was being given to adults.
Yes.
And then there was one for kids.
Yes.
So I cried. I said, I want that one.
The one for adults. Yes.
So my father said, you let him. So even some of my cousins. So we took. And then I ran mad. Basically, it was chaotic. The only difference is when I woke up, I said, whatever this is, I'll never drink it again because the headache was bad. I was feeling sick.
Horrible. Yes.
Yes. So those are two responses to the same thing.
Yes.
Okay, let's continue.
So why I felt it was nice because now the narrative that I was told had become the center of
that was the
attention.
Motivation now.
People said I was fun when I had taken it.
Okay.
So I don't remember very much how I felt when I was high. But I remember that a bit of the chasing around and playing and, and then the rest is blank.
Yes.
But that was the first time I drank. And I remember saying that thinking to myself, this was nice.
This was nice. Yes.
But I didn't drink again for another...
Until you got senior one.
No.
Hey.
I didn't drink again for a very long time.
Okay.
That's about 2 years.
2 years.
So I'm now about 11 or 12 years old. And there was alcohol, again, in the pantry. My dad had been trying to experiment with making... He was a biochemist.
Okay.
That's one of his... So he did we had a lot of chemicals in the house all the time. So he was experimenting, making wine from, Kayapo, the Kayapo fence. There's this thorny...
yes,
it produces,
they are yellow.
Yes. So he was working on the theory that one could make wine from those things. And he set up a very good wine thing in the store and left it. The idea was that he would come back 1 year later and check the experiment. Little did he know that his quality assurance people, as a self-appointed quality assurance manager. So I started raiding that stuff in the store. And eventually, because of, I now know a bit of theories of winemaking, opening and closing. He came months later to check and find that the thing wasn't as good as he had thought. But that's because we kept opening and drinking.
So did you drink and refill with...
No. Just would drink and leave it. And leave. And give a nod of approval. It's coming off well.
Yes.
And that time still, I remember that it would give me a bit of a high. But not enough to say I was drunk or whatever. But there's something. My relationship with alcohol was now developing intimately. Yes. But then I get now to Ntare school. And as was common in the days, in that time, by the way, that school didn't have a fence. Now it has one.
Yes, I had someone from Ntare here who was telling me that the school is, that you're allowed to go home, to town after.
Any time. The only thing that was required of you was that you'd pass the exam. Because if you didn't, you'd be cut out.
You'd be chased. Okay.
You'd be sent out.
Yes.
So there was a lot. That was basically the philosophy of the school. Let kids make their decisions.
Yes.
So boys would go out, drink, go to the parties, go to the clubs, discos, and the like. I don't know if they call them discos these days.
No, now they are clubs.
Clubs.
They are no discotheques anymore.
There's disco and discotheques.
Yes.
So anyway, I went with some of the boys and we started drinking. Waraji now, Kasese, at Nachi's place. Nachi was the owner of that place nearby.
Okay.
So I drank and it was fun. Finally, here I was with being a part of something.
Yes.
People were looking forward to being in my company. It was good. So that was my initiation to now very serious drinking.
Yes.
So the drinking took off from then onwards to, if you can call it a drinking career.
Your drinking career.
My drinking career had now reached takeoff stage.
Yes.
I remember seeing one of the ministers saying Uganda's economy is now something like that. So my drinking career at that point
had taken off.
And yet at the time I was drinking with no serious consequences.
Yes.
So what I was getting was only the benefits. There were no serious consequences at the time.
You were still enjoying.
It was fun, it was rewarding.
Yes.
So during the holidays, school holidays, now I started going out to drink more and more. Sometimes with my brothers, sometimes with friends in the neighborhood. When it was holiday time, my father would sometimes take us, most times, not sometimes, we'd go to the village to work on the farm.
Okay.
And so on the farm with some of the workers, we would go to the local, drink, come
Yes.
back after a day's work. That was the...
Did
the
your
pattern.
father know what was happening?
He did not, but I'm sure he might have suspected. He later knew and only talked about it in mild tones.
In passing.
Passing.
Yes, we call
You
it,
guys you need to stop drinking. You need to. It's not good for you. But I would always look at it saying that is rich from someone coming from someone who is enjoying his pint, because he drank.
Yes.
And
did it affect your grades, if I may ask?
Yes, it began to affect my grades.
Okay.
Very seriously. I can look back and say that my academic performance definitely was affected. Because in primary school, I was always at the top of my class.
Yes.
Always, almost always. If I wasn't at the top, I was second or third in school. So I'm not saying that whatever, but that's just the fact.
No, it is a fact usually that because even me, I was at the top of my class,
Yeah.
And I remember for me, after my first drink, I dipped by 25 positions.
Absolutely.
Yes, okay.
Yes. So when I got to Ntare, I became an average student.
Okay.
Meaning my performance was now somewhere in the middle, 15th, 17th, around that, which was about middle of the class.
Yes.
But also, of course, I know there are many more brighter kids in class because Ntare attracted the cream.
Yes.
But I know that my performance was affected because as time went by, I began aiming for the middle.
Okay. Just to survive.
Just to be in the middle of the class, not at the top, So my measure was if my position can be from 15th to 20th, I would say I have done well. And it was a struggle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we are, you have started drinking.
Yes.
Your grades have gone down.
Yes.
Then what were your priorities at that time?
So by the time I finished O-level, I was still functioning fairly well as a student, as a young man, doing what was expected. Although now I'm drinking with more frequency. And also drinking more quantity and frequency.
Yes.
I'm saying that specifically because we talk about the progression of the drinking.
Yes, yes.
So later on, I get to A-level now. Interestingly, as an A-level student, I also became head prefect of my school because I was
you're a popular guy, basically.
I'm a man of the people.
I know. Yes.
So my drinking takes off. Now, serious. Senior 5 is when the drinking goes.
So how did you balance head prefect and...
let's just say I scraped by.
Okay.
Because even at the time, the drinking was heavy, but I was able to...
You were able to control yourself in many ways.
Except one time, sorry, this is a very interesting story. I was at assembly, and during assembly, the head prefect would stand with the headmaster.
Okay.
So the headmaster needed to consult me. And he came to me and bent over to whisper something to me. And I think he was shocked at the
order.
He almost suffocated.
You had been drinking the night before?
I had been drinking the night before. We had a party, and there had been some girls from Bweranyanji who had been there, and then we had gone out to drink.
Okay.
So what happened is headmaster was very cool, Mr. Kamuhanda, bless his soul. So assembly ended, he didn't say anything. So I was in class, and the messenger comes and says the headmaster would like to speak to me. So it was routine.
Yes.
Headmaster always called me. So I went to the headmaster's office. And what do I find? He has assembled
Teachers.
a tribunal.
Uh-huh.
The deputy headmasters were there. The chaplain was there. Headmaster himself. I walk in. And he said, I'm so disappointed. I came to speak to you, and he couldn't even say, oof, 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 you know? What happened? So my excuse to him was that I'm sorry. I had, there was that party, we went out, there was the get together we had the dance, and then I went out and drank, but I was very, very sorry. He's like, what did you drink?
That was the
stinks
bigger
so
concern
bad.
now, eh?
What? That you drank? That smells so horrible. I told him what I just like, oh gosh. So one of the teachers, I won't name, was so scandalized. Said, how do you drink waraji? I used to drink some beer, you know.
But we are still talking to a young
A
person.
young person. So that was the first time I think that my drinking I was being confronted
Yes.
about my drinking. And after that, because that was towards the end of now my school,
Yes.
my high school. After that, there were very many other instances where I was now being confronted.
You never got a suspension.
No, I dodged that
You
bullet.
were okay.
That one I dodged. And not because I was smart. I think I was just extremely lucky.
You were just lucky.
He extended grace to me.
Okay.
And the deputy headmaster then, who was also the chaplain and is now a bishop, Sheldon, followed up that meeting by coming to me and we talked. And he was being a father figure to me.
Okay.
So I got grace. So I'm saying that also with the knowledge that throughout my life, when I look back, there have been all these instances where God has put people in my life who have kept me. Because I always say that better men than I
Yes.
have died from their addictions, smarter people.
True.
And so I'm not alive because I'm smart. I believe that the hand of God has always been with me and has kept me alive for a reason. And that's why later when you talk about what we're doing now,
Yes.
I look at what we're doing as a part of that mission,
Okay.
that my experience can be available to benefit others.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now here
Yes.
you are. You
Yes.
have already graduated to second level.
Yes.
When does it get bad?
It gets bad, so I get to campus. The drinking continues. I get a job on campus. I was
that was
working.
focus.
Yes, I was described as a very a person with very good promise, very
Okay.
high promise
Yes.
back then. So I was working. So I was earning money. I was studying, and I was drinking. And so because I had money, the drinking just went higher and higher.
Okay.
But look, I also have, I have other talents in life. So my work career actually took off
Okay.
very exceptionally because I started working at jobs where normally I would have had to wait years to get.
Okay.
But I was so motivated to succeed. I had the drive, the ambition, you know. So I started working in the area of marketing and communication, working for big companies, agencies, and the like. And my professional career took off. Parallel with my professional career
Was the
the drinking career.
equally matching?
Equally matching. The faster I grew, the faster my drinking caught up with
It
me.
accelerated.
Yes.
basically, yes.
And it got to a point where something had to give. It was either the drinking or the work. So it
We
started.
are here in Kampala.
Here in Kampala.
Okay.
Yes, here in Kampala. So all the old joints and haunts,
Yes.
all those places.
Yes.
So what happened was then that I started getting friendly warnings from people, friends, family, and that's when the
www.streamugiradio.com. Mind Matters, the weekly check-in with Bill Bekunda. Sundays, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Featuring real talk, real stories, real support. This is The Mind Matters on Stream UG Radio. Your life, your music.
Yes.
So now I begin getting the chibokos.
Yes.
It's no longer just fun.
Okay.
Remember, in the beginning it was fun, but now I'm beginning to get a few
The
chibokos.
hangovers.
Hangover wasn't a problem because I knew how to treat a hangover.
Okay.
Drink some more,
So you were now doing the 24-hour thing.
Yeah, I mean, to deal with the hangover, you drink
a little more.
The
Yes.
chibokos I'm talking about, I began losing friends, people who could not cope up with me or frowned upon my drinking.
Yes.
Many of them were very worthy friends.
Yes.
I began getting warnings from work. Now, I had a very positive genius for getting jobs.
Okay.
But I also had a genius for knowing when I'm about to be fired.
So you'd leave before you're fired?
I would say I'm not going to wait for that time. Okay? But then also at home, things started getting problematic.
Yes.
I'm married. I'm not taking up the full responsibilities, paying the bills. I'm struggling. In fact, I got to a point where I was not just not paying the bills, but now using the money that was meant for the bills from my wife to drink.
So now, because now you have jumped from campus,
yes,
to now you are in full work life.
Full work life.
You had gotten married.
Yes.
So you got married when you were beginning to have problems, or the problems are not yet there?
I cannot put a line on when it was.
What does she say?
Because
have you ever had that conversation?
Let me just explain this first.
Okay.
Because my wife was also my girlfriend on campus.
Okay. So you had a long history.
There was a long history. There was no cutoff that she came into my life.
So she knew the person
she knew. She had seen the progression.
Yes.
But at the time, I don't think she had seen it for what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you are not together.
We were not together until after campus.
Yeah.
Yes. But after campus, we were together. And so my drinking and my inability to work was something that was beginning to show up in my life.
Yes.
In our life together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now you have a wife, you are getting complications, and what happens?
What happens is that I drank more.
Okay.
I drank more, but I also managed to keep getting these opportunities.
So you kept getting opportunities and losing them. So you were basically surviving.
Yes.
How did she respond to you?
Of course, we had talks about that and had disappointment about it. My own family, the rest of the wider family,
yes,
were having problems with that. When I say, because I was at the point of chibokos.
Okay.
Chibokos include I'm crashing vehicles.
Yes.
I'm fighting in the bars. I'm getting knocked out. I'm losing money. Those are things. And when such a thing happens, of course, everybody comes into it.
Yes.
It's my wife. It is my wider family saying, man, you need to cut the crap. You need to straighten out.
Children,
yes. My children at the time were very young.
Okay.
The first two children. So they experienced a lot of this. I consider myself to be a very loving father. Okay. Very caring father. Like most dads.
Yes.
Okay? But my ability to take care of my children was compromised.
Yes.
Sometimes I would drive with them in the car when I'm totally blessed, putting them in danger. Okay? Other days I would come home and I'm such an emotional wreck. I'm raging and they are scampering for safety. And then other days I come, I'm so happy and I want to play with them. I'm all over the place, you know.
Yes.
I actually have a photo at home where we once went to the beach with them and I was as high as a kite. You know? And the look on my face tells it all.
Tells it all.
So that was the progression. Now, I like to talk about my drinking. And for the listeners out there, the drinking in itself, if you look at the progression and how it was now getting worse over time, it means that most of these things get progressively worse.
Yes.
Most addictions, substance use. But what the people around me were not seeing is that psychologically, things were also getting worse. Now, that side of things you don't get to see because you're only looking at the drinking.
Yes, the behaviors that come along with it.
Yeah. So the drinking was getting worse, but I was also becoming more and more psychologically imbalanced.
Yeah.
My ability to think straight, to think logically, and also my ability to reason about my drinking and what it's doing. Because if, for example, somebody has a habit of riding a motorbike very fast,
yes,
I think it would take one or two either near misses
yes,
or a few accidents for them to say, you know, I need to stop
and
this.
I want to say something, you know, I have a friend who passed on a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And he used to drive his children to school every day.
Yeah.
So he would spend the whole night drinking. From the bar, he goes home, picks the kids, takes them to school, and then goes back home to sleep. And the wife kind of looked at it as responsible. This guy can come from the bar. He never forgets to come pick the kids. And then unfortunately, one day when he was taking the kids, he got an accident. The car overturned. Fortunately for the kids, they survived, but he passed on. So, you know, that the way even other people think about it also matters. Because when you think it is okay that someone can still drink and come and pick the kids, then psychologically there is a problem with both ways.
Yes.
Yes.
That was me in a way because I got to the point where I now could not work anymore.
Yes.
I lost the ability to work. So my last job, I resigned from my last job in 2004, April, I think. And at that time, I resigned saying, these guys don't get it. I'm smart.
The problem you said was theirs.
I'm going to start my own business, which I did, incidentally. I resigned and went to start my own business. And I started a marketing consultancy job, which was my former profession, marketing. And actually started doing substantially good work, you know, with my consultancy. But even that could not be sustained.
Yes.
So after a while, because I'm in this phase of my life, I have time on my hands. I'm at home most of the time. I'm doing a home office. That was my cover, excuse.
Yes.
Doing stuff on my own. I also started farming.
Okay.
So I'm doing farming. I'm doing this thing. And so I am picking the children and then picks them, takes them to school, come back. So my routine at the time was get up with a hangover, dust myself, get into the car, everybody go to school, take them to school, drop the wife at work, and immediately I would go down to, the guys knew me at the time, it was called Uchumi Supermarket, Garden City, very early in the morning. So I would go there and buy a newspaper. Mark my words. My first
listening.
purchase was a newspaper.
Uh-huh.
I would pick a whole trolley and put a newspaper in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then push the trolley with the newspaper to the liquor section.
I saw that coming.
And as soon as I get there, I get the liquor, put it in the newspaper, okay, and walk with my newspaper to the counter.
Why didn't you want anyone to see?
Because we are told that we are the only we are the only people who drink alcohol in a brown paper bag
Yes.
to hide it. Yet everyone knows that drinking a brown paper bag is alcohol.
That is part of the psychology.
Yes, nobody puts juice in a brown paper bag and
Yes.
drinks it, you know. So at that point, basically, I wasn't working. So I'd get that drink, go down, sit in the car, start drinking and reading the newspaper, the parking lot.
Okay.
I did that for a number of years.
And you do that the whole morning?
I'm counting up to around 10, 11. At that point, I'm making a call to my buddies. I had 2 other guys I was drinking with.
Okay.
Because I knew at that time they're also up and about. I'm like, what's the program? And so we'd set up the program. And now it's time to go and pick the kids. So by the time I'm picking the kids, I'm mildly intoxicated.
Yes.
I go pick them, take them home, and then drink
For the rest.
the rest. That was my pattern for many
Where
years.
was the money coming from? Is another question.
I had a very good banker, funder, in my wife
Okay.
at the time. And not that she was willingly doing this. Okay. But because I'm at home now, I'm taking care of most of the affairs.
Yes.
I need fuel for the car. I need this. So there was always a reason. And she knew also that if I don't give this guy some of that money, it's going to create. So it's better to buy peace. I think for her it was I'm buying peace.
Yes. True.
So we lived like that for a long time.
Okay, it sounds a little bit, there are stories about, I don't want to go into it, but there are stories about a celebrity right now who has had a drinking problem, and him and his wife are having misunderstandings. He's being judged because of the drinking. And we see that so many people don't understand actually what happens, because I don't know if you've also seen people being hostile to a person who is of the nature that you're just describing yourself, of which I was myself.
Yeah.
Can you address that?
Very much
Briefly.
so. And because you see, what was happening to me happens to so many other people. So I like to say that the playbook is the same.
Yes.
It's the stage where the play is acted that will change.
Yes.
So today we're at National Theatre. Next day. So the way my play played out, it's the same script.
Yes.
But the theatre will change.
It's different, yeah.
Different. So whether the theatre is in Katanga, or in Kololo, or in Naguru,
Yes.
or in Kabale, or in Kamshoko. Do you know a place called Kamshoko?
I've heard of it.
Kamshoko is the most wonderful place in this place.
I thought it was the most rural.
Yes.
Yes.
That's my home village. So
Okay.
anyway, the playbook is the same.
Yes.
So many people, or most people, have this understanding of addiction, especially to legal substances like alcohol.
Yes.
Because we'll get into the details.
Yes.
Some substances are legal, others are illegal. But when it comes to legal substances like alcohol, we have so many social drinkers, people who can drink,
Yes.
take it and leave it.
Yes.
So when you have somebody whose drinking is abnormal,
Yes.
the judgment or the belief is that why can't they control their drinking? Why can't they drink normally? Okay, so the common belief and myth is that this person is just being a douchebag. He's just acting out. Cut the crap. Get a hold of yourself.
Yes.
But it's an illness. It's a disease.
Yes.
And progressively it gets worse, never better, for somebody who is prone to the addiction.
Yes.
Most people will drink normally for the rest of their lives. Some people are not in that category. I'm not in that category. I know you're not.
Yes.
And there are people out there, very well-meaning people would call celebrities and the like, who are in that category.
Yes.
It's not a choice. It's also not a knowledge gap. It's not that they don't know that this thing is affecting them. They know it. It's not a moral failure.
Yes.
Although when we're intoxicated, we do things that are morally questionable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really sad. And somewhere I read, I'm trying to remember how somebody put it, that addiction, especially to substances, is not a bad person doing bad things. It is a normal person dealing with a brain that is being affected by the substance. You see what I mean?
Yes.
So
absolutely.
the person is a normal person, but they are dealing with it. And because of stigma and the social drinking, people assume that all you need to do is just simply do something. Now we are coming to the top of the hour, and the part for the true stories is coming to an end. Of course, you have been very, very, very gentle with your ear. You have not told us those real stories.
There's a reason why.
Yes.
There's a reason
exactly.
why, Bill, and I'll tell you why. Okay?
Yes.
We call them drunkalogs.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I can tell you 100 stories about how terrible it is.
Yes.
Places I woke up in and things I did. Okay? That may not help the next guy.
Yes.
Because the guy next will hear, okay, I have not woken up in a strange bed somewhere,
Yes.
so I'm not alcoholic.
I'm not as bad as...
I'm not as bad as he is. However, that's why I was saying that it's important for us to see the psychological side.
Exactly.
At the level of feelings. What was alcohol doing for me? Not to me.
Not to me.
Because what my family and everyone around sees is what alcohol is doing to me.
Yes.
What they don't see is what alcohol is doing for me
Yes.
as a coping mechanism, as a way to deal with life.
Yes.
And that is where everyone with a drinking or substance problem can identify with.
Exactly.
In the relief that the substance gives.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, I've told people, and I always tell them this, that alcohol does its job.
Yes.
Weed does its job.
Yes.
These medications, opioids, whatever, they do their job.
Yes.
You cannot take Panadol and it doesn't heal the head.
Yes.
You know, it stops the pain. And therefore, they should realize that, like when they would tell me, Bill, can't you see how alcohol is spoiling your life? But for me, alcohol was making my life better.
Yes.
I mean, I was a millionaire when I was blessed.
Absolutely. They said to me that alcohol is your problem. I said, no, alcohol is my solution.
Exactly.
Not my problem.
Yes. And so until people start seeing that it is a solution and people are using it, the coping mechanism is a solution, then you're not going to solve the problem. But
that's a good point to remember when we get to the issue of does rehab work.
Yes.
Okay, because it's a very key factor there.
So we are going to, we shall come up, we shall get to the point where you're going to tell us how you change, how the change happened, how you started work and what it's about, what you experienced there, what people don't understand about it, most especially, in fact, I think we should spend more time on what people need to understand about rehabilitation, inclusive of the most common problem or discussion around it, that they're just eating money. It is too expensive.
Yes.
I think, don't you think it's very cheap? Well, no, not cheap. Expensive cannot be an amount.
My question to that is always compared to what?
Thank you.
Compared to what? Yeah.
Yes, we are at the top of the hour and we shall be coming back with more. I'm with Isha in the studio at Stream UG Radio. Share with a friend to listen to more, www.streamugradio.com. You can also call us on our WhatsApp. You can reach us on our WhatsApp line 256-767-864-228. And we are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, all at Stream UG Radio. So as long as you type in Stream UG Radio, you will find us.
Mind Matters, the weekly check-in with Bill Bekunda. Sundays, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Featuring real talk, real stories, real support. This
Studio, we have something in common, which is we started young and we went through, it was first fun, then it became fun with problems, and then we deleted all the fun and it remained only problems. And I tell people usually that is usually the destination, and you cannot know who will develop a problem, who will not. But we are going to talk about all this in this part of the show. We are Mind Matters with Bill Bekunda.
Mind Matters, the weekly check-in with Bill Bekunda on Stream UG Radio. Your life, your music.
Tell a friend to tell a friend not to miss this, because I think much as the first part was important to get to know whom we are talking to and knowing his background and experience, this is the more important part of the show where we are talking about recovering. Me as a person who is suffered a substance use disorder, I usually tell people I'm in recovery.
I'm recovered.
Some say I'm recovered, some say I'm in recovery.
Yes.
And it's a confusion for so many people, but we shall get to that.
Absolutely.
So tell me,
Yes.
how did this end?
It didn't end.
Okay.
It didn't end. It's still going on.
Okay.
I can put it.
So you were drinking last night? Or?
Yeah, I drank last night, but it was mostly water and juice.
Okay. Yes.
But why I say it didn't end
yes.
is most people look at this problem with the view that it is just the drinking that must stop and the problem goes away.
Exactly.
Okay? But first of all, the drinking got worse and worse. My drinking, and something happened that made me realize, and it wasn't because I'm a smart guy.
Okay.
I did something stupid.
Yes.
Okay, and that situation is what created. It kind of cut through all the levels of denial and the like that I was having, and I was able to say, now, Isha, I think you cannot deny anymore that you have a problem. I remember that happening.
Okay.
But that doesn't then mean that suddenly I was saying, I got up and said, I've stopped.
Yes.
That happened, and I didn't stop drinking immediately. But something about my drinking changed.
Yeah.
Because now I was drinking with the knowledge that this is not fun anymore.
Yes.
It stopped being fun. And so eventually my family helped me to get to rehab.
Okay.
To treatment.
How did they help?
Because I had run out of excuses, and I had also run out of, because of the new insights that I had had about my problem. I knew that I'd run out of road.
Okay.
I didn't have anything else to argue.
Yes.
So I was willing to go to rehab.
Okay.
Now that is very important to say, because there are some people who get to rehab unwillingly.
Now that is
voluntary.
Let me give my version now.
Yeah.
For me, they took me and they gave me an opportunity.
Yes.
To allow the intervention. And I refused.
Yes.
I told them if they try and hold me back, there's going to be problems.
Yes.
But the director at that time is a man called Masho. I like mentioning him because he helped me a lot.
Wonderful
the guy said,
man.
Don't worry, you take him. He has promised he will not do it again.
Yes.
But give him 3 days to 2 weeks. And if he does it, you can then bring him yourself. Do you agree? I'm like, yes. And I left the place 100% knowing that I am not coming back.
Yes.
I'm going to prove to these guys. So what happened was, of course, I didn't last 3 days. He still gave me some ample time, I think about 2 weeks. And then one day I came home and I found the whole clan were eating. Uncle who, auntie who. They grabbed me now like a chicken thief and said, we are taking you, tied me up properly, and took me there. So that is the second version now.
Isn't it amazing that here we are two guys?
Yes.
But look, there's another thing you need to know about this, which I like to remind people.
Yes.
Even though I said I am ready to go, it doesn't mean
you are ready.
That I was smarter
or willing
or better. It was under the lash. Alcohol had caned me.
Yes.
And I had no room. I had no wiggle room. So the point is that even people who go into rehab willingly, it's a myth.
They are forced in by circumstances.
They are forced by circumstances.
Yes.
So there's no such thing as I went there willingly.
Exactly.
No, life has become difficult. They have crises which they cannot evade or postpone.
Yes.
And what do? They say, I think the only way out is this one. Much as I don't want it, I have
no choice.
So that is one. The other thing, Bill, to notice is that the treatment outcomes actually favor those who come in involuntarily.
Yes.
From my experience.
Yes,
that's my experience.
Very true.
Because
very, very true.
People go into treatment saying, I brought myself here, have an attitude of you don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, they use it as leverage even when they want to leave.
Yes.
I
brought myself here. So now later when I'm working in treatment, I like people who give you something to work with.
Yes.
When they're saying, no, I don't want. And you say, okay, let's talk about this. Why is it that you don't want?
Yes.
It's easier than I brought myself here, because when somebody says I brought myself here, they're covering up all the other things which you're not able to reach.
Yes.
And that's the point of treatment and therapy, to reach those dark areas.
Yes.
Which for the other guy, the involuntary guy, are very obvious.
Exactly.
They are on the surface. Yeah.
So even before we get into treatment, I would like you now to give what advice do you give to people who are already seeing this problem happening? It's because it happens for a long time.
Yes.
I've had people who have consulted me. There was one, they consulted me in 2015.
Yes.
When we did the first recovery work here in Uganda. And they brought the person for treatment in 2019. You see what I mean? Yeah. So it is, what do you tell someone? Because by that time, the problem had really become so bad. What do you tell people about?
What I would say is this, and it comes back to that issue, it didn't end.
Yes.
People have a short-term view of this problem.
Okay.
It's a chronic illness, meaning it's there for a long time.
Yes.
Even when the person has stopped drinking, like me now, I know I'm still an alcoholic.
Yes.
I cannot drink safely. And the alcohol is, we said it's just a symptom. There were underlying issues.
Yes.
So when somebody is struggling with a substance problem, whether it's alcohol or other drugs, the view to take is, one, a long-term view.
Yes.
Rehab is not the end of the process.
Yes.
Because people take the view that take this guy to rehab, they'll fix him and he'll come up as clean as the driven snow. He's going to be white as snow. And then we'll go off to the horizon singing happily. It doesn't work like that.
It's the nursery school.
Rehab is a place which gives you the opportunity to start a journey of recovery.
Okay.
That's the long-term view to have. Secondly, does rehab work? Yes, it does. We are both here as proof that it does work.
Yes.
But I'm sure that the listeners are asking, how come it hasn't worked for me or some people?
For those it hasn't worked for yet.
Yes. So the answer to that is rehab is, so far, it's the best thing we have available.
Yes.
Okay? But it's not the most effective, if I can say that. It's like we have chemotherapy or radiotherapy for cancer.
Yes.
It's a very crude radiotherapy is a very crude treatment, but it's about the only thing we have.
Yes.
So does it work for some? It works for most, but there are cases where it doesn't work.
Yes.
Maybe over time, there will be other models for treatment. But there's the other thing to remember, which is that every case is unique and different.
Yes.
So a good treatment center will have an individualized approach to treatment. My challenges are different from another person's challenges.
Yes.
Not just at the level of the chemicals or drugs we are taking, but also the background issues, the things that I have to deal with, the dark areas of my past,
Yes.
my traumas are probably different from Bill's, Jen's, or
Yes.
Carol's, And so a good treatment facility will emphasize the need for individualized treatment
Yes.
rather than one size fits all.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here we are now. You went for treatment,
Yes.
and then how did it work? And then we get to you explaining to us
Yes.
what is rehabilitation, and then we want you to take us through ARC
Yes.
because that's what I want to know.
Yes.
When do you go out looking for the people who have a problem? Do they approach you? When they approach you, what happens?
Yeah.
And then when they get in, what do you do with them until you let them go? But let's start with the first.
Yes. So I went to rehab and spent, at the time, it was, I think, 8 weeks. During that time. So when I got there, the first thing I was told is that you're going to start experiencing withdrawals from alcohol, so you need to go through detox.
Yes.
So I went through the detox. I had a primary counselor who was my go-to person.
What is detox?
Detox, when you put chemicals in your body, including alcohol, the body becomes tolerant of those chemicals.
Okay.
And adjusts to them. For example, alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. And so it will depress or keep your nerves depressed.
Yes.
Okay. When somebody stops drinking alcohol and the alcohol is now getting reduced in the body, the effect of the alcohol not being there begins to show up in the body.
Yes.
They begin, for example, shaking. They become restless. They are sweating, increased heart rate, So detox is the process of helping somebody go through that withdrawal phase. It's a medically supervised process, such that the person does not experience discomfort or life-threatening experiences.
Especially with alcohol.
With alcohol, yes. Because the withdrawals can actually be life-threatening
They have
sometimes.
killed a few people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's important that somebody goes through that medically supervised process.
Okay.
So I went through that. Then after that, I started the therapy, very intensive psychotherapy, where I was having one-on-one therapy with my counselors, group therapy. I was also being educated about certain things. My family was involved, some of my family, getting to understand what the problem is, why I'm behaving the way I am, my own self-reflection. I had some actions I needed to start taking. I started preparing. They prepared me for what is your plan when you leave?
Yes.
What are you going to do? I did that. What is your relapse prevention strategy? How are you going to avoid certain triggers?
Yes.
Things that might cause you to relapse. So that is how it happened. And I got out. I like to say I'm very fortunate because that it worked for me that one time and has been ever since. That was in I went to rehab in April 2011. And I got out, I think, in June.
Okay.
And June 2011 to date. So my anniversary is normally, I say, April 11th.
Yes.
So if I'm sober on April 11th, next year I'll be 15 years sober. But
Congratulations. say, keep coming back. It works if you work it. We shall also get to that, and I believe we shall have time for it.
Yeah.
And you see, it is like we say, it's different from everyone.
Yes.
Because for me, I went to rehab a little bit earlier.
Yes.
They captured me when I was still younger.
Incidentally, Bill, there's a story there.
Yes.
I should have been with you in rehab that time. Because around that time, I also was taken to Marshall. And we had that conversation.
But yours were prolonged until...
So it was October.
Okay.
So I told Marshall, I really like what you're doing. And I really want to come, but there's no way my family will have Christmas without me. So I promised to come after Christmas.
Yes, which never happened.
Never happened. I drank again for another 7-8 years, I think.
Yeah. And so, it so happens that I went then, and then I had a major relapse again now when you are going into treatment.
Yes.
In 2011. So basically you can see that now, but fortunately enough now after that relapse, I then I've had a good journey till today, you know. So recovery is different for everybody and people shouldn't expect.
There's no one size fits all.
Exactly. So what we look at is it happening.
Yes.
Yes, you're still listening to Mind Matters.
Mind Matters, the weekly check-in with Bill Bekunda. Sundays, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Featuring real talk, real stories, StreamUGRadio.com. The Mind Matters on Stream UG Radio. Are you yet? Your music.
Yes, so here we are. Now you have done with the rehabilitation part. So now you're okay. How did you end up now getting into working with people who are suffering the same?
Yes. So as part of my recovery, I was encouraged to look for a support group of people who are in recovery, which I did. And that's very important as well for anyone who is in this journey.
Yes.
Because rehab is not the end, it's the beginning.
Yes.
And the journey continues. And it's very hard to walk this journey alone.
Yes.
So after rehab, I continued with a support system, talking to my counselors. I have some mentors in certain areas. I kept talking to them and working with people in recovery, trying to carry this message. Initially, I was doing it individually. But I had always had the passion because I had experienced something that I thought we needed to have in Uganda. And so I always had the dream that we need to set up a very well-run organization.
Yes.
I'm not saying others are not well-run, but that was my experience.
That was your experience,
which I thought we needed to be transferred. So in 2017, I teamed up with a colleague and we set up Africa Retreat Center.
Okay.
With a view to offer comprehensive support and treatment to people who are struggling with addiction and mental illnesses. I say comprehensive support for a reason. Because there's no silver bullet that you can shoot at when it comes to addictions. You need a multi-pronged approach.
Yes.
Technically, they call it either an integrated approach to treatment or a multidisciplinary approach.
Okay.
By multidisciplinary, it means you need different disciplines. You need psychiatrists, you need psychologists, you need addiction counselors, you need peer support and recovery coaches, you need occupational therapists, even sometimes need marriage and the relationship counselors, different individuals. 100%. So because everyone is different and because the needs vary, you need different disciplines.
Yes.
There's a medical aspect to it. So we set up a place, Africa Retreat Center, where our philosophy is biopsychosocial, meaning we approach treatment from the medical side, psychological side, and also the social side.
Okay.
The dimensions of your body, your mind, and your relationships.
Okay.
Such that when you come into treatment, we are helping you and supporting you in all these dimensions. And spiritual as well.
Yes.
I know that term raises so much controversy.
So many questions as well, yes.
But if time allows, I'll explain what we mean by spiritual. Yeah. So we've been in operation since 2017.
Yes.
And now that's what I do. I spend a lot of my time working with people. And then you ask, do I go looking for people?
Yes, do you go looking for them? Do they find you?
So Africa Retreat Center is an institution. It's actually registered as a hospital.
Okay.
And we are governed by not just professional guidelines, but also rules. You don't advertise.
Yes.
You can't advertise. You can't go soliciting for people. So we like our work to speak for itself. Okay. So most of the time you'll find that we get referrals from professionals, other doctors elsewhere, or nurses, or clergymen, or even day-to-day the general public.
Yes.
But we also know that the people who have been through our hands and are out there speak for themselves, and we get a lot of our referrals that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now you have said somebody has gone through a problem. Families can see that this person has a problem. And there's something you mentioned earlier, we talked about, that there are those who go willingly, and there are those, they all don't go willingly, but there are some who accept to go, and some who resist.
Yes.
But then there are also those whom they are consulting about. They can already see that there is a problem, but the person is resisting.
Yes.
What do you advise first and foremost to that person who is calling you and saying, we have someone, they have a problem, this is happening, they are getting seizures?
Yeah.
What do you advise them?
The advice to the family or to the individual?
To the person who is seeking.
Okay. So we are guided by the Mental Health Act.
Okay.
And the Mental Health Act provides for involuntary admissions.
Yes.
But there's a very strict criteria for that. For example, the person is a danger to themselves and to others. Because sometimes you can see this person is drinking and they're going to literally kill themselves. Or they're getting seizures. And yet, because of the addiction, they lack the insight and they're not going to be able to make this decision for themselves. So what we'd recommend is they can be taken in involuntarily for detox, but using the criteria that's provided for by the Mental Health Act. And then during the detox, the person might gain insight, might be talked to and motivated to accept treatment.
Okay.
Because you also have to be very careful about patient rights and autonomy. That's very, very important. However, when it comes to mental health, there's a thin line.
Yes.
Somebody is literally killing themselves. They are dying. You care about them. Because I've also witnessed people waiting for that day when the person will rise out of their slumber.
Yes.
And that day never comes. So people have died actually because the family is waiting, saying that, no, he must accept.
Even not understanding, especially that.
That, no, I want him to first accept that he needs help, then he gets the help.
Yes.
But remember that he knows he needs help. But the help that he's getting is through the alcohol. He's using the alcohol as the help.
As the help.
Okay?
Exactly.
And you are seeing the alcohol as the problem. So if you need him to get another sort of help, the alcohol has to be stopped. And he's not going to stop on his own.
Yes.
It's almost like saying, I like to say, it's like saying, I need this person to be clean first, then I take him to my bathroom.
That's a good one.
It doesn't make sense.
That's a good one, yes.
You need to take the person to the bathroom and then
start the cleaning.
Yes. Or he needs to be fit.
But there's
before
also,
I go to the gym.
So even after detox, because if you're going to use that example, once you start the cleaning, then do you let the person go before they have, because now you have removed the visible dirt, but you haven't put the soap. And the person says, no, me, I'm clean enough.
Okay. So again, going through detox is just about the body.
It's just about the body.
It's not about the mind.
Yes.
And we know that addiction centers where? In the mind.
Yes.
The body is only chemically dependent on the alcohol and drugs.
Yes.
But the real problem is in the mind.
Yes.
Why? because this person is sober, okay? This person is sober, but makes the decision that what I need is a drink.
Yes.
Okay? So the decision to drink happens when the person is sober. The decision to take the drug happens when the person is sober.
Yes.
Meaning there's something sick or ill or out of order in the person's mind that tells him it's okay to drink.
Yes.
When they know that drinking has caused me this and this and this. Also knowing that the person is drinking to solve a problem, mental and psychologically, means that if you don't go into the deep psychological causes and conditions, you're just touching the surface.
Yes.
I want the listeners to know, anyone using substances or alcohol in an addictive way, the substance and the alcohol, yes, they might be problematic, but they are not the real problem.
Yes.
It sounds kind of ironic, but it's the truth. They are not the real problem. They are a problem, but the real problem is what is the person trying to solve using the alcohol
or the
drugs. Yes.
Very true. So now here we are saying that sometimes it is necessary to take a person in involuntarily.
Yes.
And I think it is the thing that most people fear. Yeah. And, but yeah, so what we are going to talk about next is What we are going to talk about next is the vulnerability of the family itself. Because you see, they don't think they have the authority to make this decision. Especially, I've gotten communication from groups of friends, like very old boys. This is our classmate. And then they are all confused. There are 20 people saying this, 20 other people saying the other. Then there are family members. They are also split in between, as we know it is. Number one, explaining how addiction is a family disease, and also giving advice to what they should do in a situation where they are divided on getting a person help they can clearly see needs help.
Okay, first I will say this, Bill. I cannot tell you how many people I talk to these days, hundreds of people who tell me that, Isha, I am glad my family made that decision.
True, I've heard that a lot.
I am very glad that my family took the decision to bring me. On my own, I would not have done so.
Yes.
So, to anyone struggling with addiction, or even the families, I say, look, just because you don't want, or just because you don't want it, doesn't mean it's bad for you.
Exactly.
And just because you want it doesn't mean it's good for you.
Yes.
Okay? So some of the things that are good for me are things I don't want to do. And sometimes somebody else has to make that choice for me.
Yes.
Especially in addiction. Now I'm a grown up. I might say I'm a big man. I know what to do. No one tells me what to do. But it's an illness. And people become impaired in their ability to judge. Their judgment is impaired.
Yes.
Their thinking is impaired. And the family has to step in and make the choice. Incidentally, the Mental Health Act provides that even the community can make that decision. It's not just the family.
Okay.
The law provides law enforcement can do that, judge can do that, the community can do that.
Okay.
Can actually take a person into treatment. Yeah.
So you're saying like groups of OBs can say, you know what, this guy, we know him, let's take him, sign him in.
There's a criteria, yes.
There's a criteria for that.
Which is provided for, yes.
Okay. And I think that will help so many people because it is something that people always talk about. What can we do? We can't force him. And I tell them, the word force seems a little bit. And then they start looking for lawyers and all that, trying to disrupt the process.
Something similar to that is the family's fear.
Yes.
That this person will be angry, they will hate me I see that a lot with spouses and sometimes with children. The parent is worried, this spouse is going to hate me, my wife won't like me, and because I've made the decision.
Yes.
And it's true. Why? Because nobody wants to have their liberty suddenly curtailed. So it's natural that the person will be angry, but only for a while.
Okay.
Until they gain insight and they begin to appreciate.
Yes.
Okay. So I've also seen happy families reunited and the person saying, Dad, I understand. Or Mom, I'm very grateful that you did this. Or, my dear husband, thank you for doing this for me. Yeah.
And also now there is also another, the workplace.
Yes, absolutely.
How do workplaces get involved?
If you're an employer and you have somebody who is struggling with an addiction, there's a monetary motivation for you to support them.
Yes.
And the moral one. The monetary one is this. You're paying this person full time, their full salary. But because of the addiction, their ability to work is impaired. So they are not giving you their full force. Employers typically are tempted to terminate.
Yes.
But many of the times you find that you have spent a lot of time training this person, getting them in the reason, and they actually possess special abilities, or they are good people.
And they're actually usually very good at their work.
But they're just struggling with this problem.
Yes.
It costs less to support them than to hire a new person and retrain.
True.
The moral incentive is that it's good for you to offer support to people who are on your team and are working for the growth of your organization. And I would say that by all means, employers ought to give this support.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's go to Africa Retreat Center.
Yes.
So you started the place. It started. How did it? What's the progress you've seen since the time it has started?
Yes.
To date, in terms of people being willing to get help.
Yeah.
People receiving the help.
Yeah.
And the results you've gotten.
So progress is very interesting. It's a very interesting word. How do I measure progress? Or how do we measure progress? Africa Retreat Center has seen so much progress and growth.
Yes.
Mostly in our skills, our resources, and our abilities to support people. For example, when we started in 2017, we didn't have a full-time psychiatrist. Now we do.
Okay.
The team was composed of qualified people, but now we have even more qualified and a broader range of people to offer support, which is key. So when people say progress, I like to say, how do you define progress? For us, we define it by saying we have grown in our knowledge and our skills and expertise in giving support to people. Yeah, so that has happened. We cannot say growth. For us, growth does not mean how many numbers, how many beds have you expanded.
Yes.
We are about the same number, but we offer both in and outpatient services.
Yes.
We work very closely with most insurance companies, medical insurance providers. Those are available, but also the successes that we've seen, people getting back their lives together. That's the most important thing for us. That's huge progress. I think we're doing our small part in this field. But I also want to remind people that we don't work alone. There are so many other treatment facilities around. And we look at ourselves as partners to them.
Yes.
In fact, I also happen to be the chairperson of the Addiction Prevention and Rehab Association of Uganda, which is the umbrella group of treatment facilities.
Yes.
And what are we trying to do in this association is to ensure that we're offering quality services and that people are complying to the standards of treatment.
Yes.
Unethical behavior is called out and we're able to monitor and ensure that people are doing the right thing, not just at Africa Retreat Center, but across all our members. It's very important to say that, because when people are talking about does rehab work, I need the public to know that there are places that are going out of their way to ensure that they comply with ethical standards, they act professionally, they offer ethical behavior. I mean, they act in an ethical manner, and that they're client-centered.
Yes.
So we have other partners in this. The other thing we do at Africa Retreat Center is we know our limits. We know what we do, but we also know what we don't do.
Yes.
You won't come to us and we claim that we can manage everything. Yeah? We don't do that. We refer upwards or sideways, depending on the need. On the need. So that is very key to talk about.
Yes. And you now there is also I won't call it contentious. There is the common for some.
Yeah.
Because I've experienced two kinds of people. One person came to me and asked me, how much does rehabilitation cost?
Yes.
And I told them it is 2.5 million for a certain, And then the person asked me this question. Are you sure with 2.5 million you'll be able to give my person all the services they need? That is one.
Yes.
Then there is another one. How much is rehabilitation? And I say the same. And the person says it's too expensive.
Yes. www.streamugiradio.com.
Now, in this kind of situation,
yes,
what do you have to talk about the pricing of treatment?
Yes.
First, you will tell us maybe what it entails, because there are services offered.
Yes.
And what you think about these two things.
Thank you. So remember earlier I said compared to what? So at Africa Retreat Center, we benchmark.
Yes.
We benchmark our services. We are always trying to look at innovations. What can we do better?
Yes.
And we have gone out to benchmark ourselves and our services, the level of care we offer, with places elsewhere. In East Africa, in Southern Africa, in Europe, we've done that. Sometimes we actually go to these places to see what else we can add. And when I say compared to what, this is what I mean.
Exactly.
For what we are doing, if you went to a rehab in South Africa and to get the services that we get,
yes,
you'll find that you're paying probably 10 or 15 times more. Okay? So that is one comparison. The other way to do it is compared to what? What is this person losing? The individual who is coming to treatment. What's the opportunity foregone by the addiction?
Yes.
Okay? Compared to what? What is the cost of this person's life? How do you put a value on life?
Yes.
I know of a guy. I was speaking to the family. They kept saying he needs to come, and we kept talking. Okay? I knew him quite closely. And they kept, dancing around. And then, unfortunately, he got hit by Mwebaze. And the next morning, because he went home but with a huge injury, then he got home and he died. I was called at about 4 o'clock. He was in hospital. And then shortly after, he was in the mortuary, in the hospital. And this person had died due to the addiction.
Yes.
But within a few hours, we had gathered at the family home. Within a few hours, a budget had been made for the funeral. And his coffin was going to cost much more than what would have taken him to treatment.
Yes.
Okay? And the entire funeral budget would have taken him to treatment
multiple
10 times. Okay?
Yeah. Yes.
And everyone was willingly contributing for the funeral. But this guy had been struggling for years, and no one would touch him with a long stick. So that is one of the ways to look at it. The other way to look at the cost of treatment is this. when somebody comes into when someone is admitted, you're offering accommodation, you're offering meals, so that's the full board cost.
Yes.
Even if we were to say he's in a hotel, then he's in a very cheap hotel.
Extremely, the people didn't even go.
Okay, so rehabs are very lousy hotels. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but then there's something else.
Yes.
You have this team of specialists who are working with the person every day, and they are putting in their work.
Yes.
And they have to be paid for that work. Okay.
Yes.
And then there are other lateral expenses that have to be covered. I mean, you have to pay rent, you have to pay security, you have to do all these things. Overall, by its nature, rehab or residential treatment is very expensive. Yes. Okay, is there a way we can bring the cost down? If there was a way, we'd do so. In fact, there are certain treatment models that we continue to explore to see if we can bring the cost down. But I also want to remind people that the cost of addiction is much higher than the cost of rehab.
Yes.
Then the other thing to remember is that it's a journey which starts at rehab but must continue.
Yes.
Because we offer we are keen on aftercare. Aftercare is a very key part of treatment. Because people think, okay, upon discharge, now go home and behave. No. When somebody is discharged, we continue to offer support long after the person has gone.
Yes.
So that money you're talking about, don't look at it for just the 90 days. You're paying, but we are continuing this support long after the person has left. Our aftercare program goes on for at least 3.5 months initially, but up to the point the person actually doesn't want to come back. But we stay in touch with most of our clients long after they have left, unless they choose not to. Yes. So that is really it. And also that matter of aftercare, the public need to know. It's just as important as the rehab.
Yes.
Because the rehab is a very sheltered environment.
Yes.
So the person is sheltered from the alcohol and the drugs. So obviously they're going to eat well, be well. They don't have to deal with most of life's problems.
Yes.
But when they leave, what are they facing? The debts, the challenges they had, the relationship problems they have, challenges at work, the workload. They have to now step up because everyone is looking at them and saying, your excuse was alcohol. Now what's your excuse? So it's important that somebody continues being supported after that. I call it an emotional minefield that they have to walk through. Yes. So aftercare is just as important as inpatient care.
Yeah. And the families.
Yes. Yes. Families, very, very important for many reasons. One is that it's a family disease. One person is drinking, and everyone is affected.
Yes.
You have mothers, wives who are not sleeping, children who are scared to death, So when the person is being helped, we also support the family. We have a family support program. We also have family therapy when the person is in treatment. The idea is that when we discharge Joseph to go home, Joseph's wife not only knows how best to support him in what to do and what not to do, but Joseph's wife is also healing from her own hurts and the things that have happened while he was drinking. And also, she knows how to not take Joseph's nonsense.
Yes.
Because she now cannot be manipulated.
Yes.
She's not saying she's a bad wife because she probably came in believing he's drinking because I'm a bad wife. So the family needs that support. The children sometimes have gone through their trauma and need long-term support. We have a child psychologist who actually offers that to the children. Sometimes it's the employer who needs to be educated on these issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because many people really don't understand it.
No, they don't.
Like you said earlier, people want to bring someone to the rehab, throw you there, and
Fix
come back
you.
and get a finished product.
How much does it take to fix this guy? Give me a bill.
Very true.
Yeah.
And you see, in Uganda, because now, there are so many rehabilitation centers popping up.
Yes.
And you briefly talked about the Addiction Prevention and Rehabilitation
Yes.
Association of Uganda.
Yeah.
We need to know that rehabilitation has got specific. It's not just naming a place rehabilitation and you just go and throw people.
Yeah.
So you tell us, what are these standards that this APRAO is looking out to?
Okay. Thank you. So the standards across the board. We ourselves, for a long time as APRA, we developed our own standards because government did not have standards.
Do they still not have standards?
Now they do. Now there are new standards which are coming out. I'll speak about that.
Okay.
So the beauty about APRA was that we're ahead of the game. We realized that we are working in this place. It's not properly regulated, but we need to self-regulate.
Yes.
So we came together. There are many of the treatment facilities that came together, and we said we need to ensure that we self-regulate. So we developed some of these standards. Now, under the Mental Health Act, these standards were supposed to be developed. The Minister of Health is supposed to develop these standards and also establish a governing body to ensure the implementation and maintenance of these standards. That hadn't been done. Now we have them.
Okay.
The Mental Health Advisory Board has been fully constituted by the Ministry of Health. And we've also been working with the Ministry of Health to complete the development of these standards. So the beauty of it is that you will not have many of the stories you've been hearing.
Okay.
Because now everyone who sets up a rehabilitation center has to comply to those standards.
Okay.
But of course, we get into this for different reasons. Okay. Sometimes people are getting in just for the money. I know a place where the person just wanted, he's a businessman, and he said, I'm putting a place, these are the number of beds, you get me the people to pay, as if it's a lodging facility.
Yes.
So the motivations are there. People have different motives. As long as we can agree on these standards, standards on care, standards on space, how the place should be look like, staffing, what kind of staff should be at a treatment facility, what should the program look like, what are patient rights, what are the do's and don'ts. It's a very comprehensive set of standards, which if you look at very strictly, all of us have a lot of work to do to comply to them.
Yes. Okay.
Let not one bad apple.
Yes.
The action of one bad apple affect your perception of others.
Exactly. But then now it is difficult. How does someone look out for a standard rehabilitation center?
I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Okay. So there are things to look out for. If you're calling a rehabilitation center and you want to know how good they are, most people who call in say how much.
Okay.
Okay.
That's usually
That's the question.
Yes.
How much is your treatment? Do not measure a treatment facility on the basis of how much. That's a factor, affordability, but it's not the most compelling factor.
Yes.
The most compelling factor is ask them, what's your philosophy about addiction? What's your staffing like? Do you have a medical person? What's their qualification of the medical team? Okay, because a treatment facility without, if we say it's a treatment facility and there's no medical staff,
yes,
there's no psychiatrist or at least psychiatric clinical officer,
yes,
there are no psychiatric nurses, that's
questionable.
That's questionable. Okay, do they have psychologists? Who are they? Okay, ask them. Okay, so what will my person be doing when they come? so that you're not just taking someone to be told, now stay here for 3 months, behave.
Yes.
And go home and be a good boy or be a good girl.
Fattening. It's like fattening a pig.
Yes, absolutely. Or steering, as we used to call
exactly,
it in farming. So they ask them what their program is like. Okay? That's always a very good way. Then on that basis, you can say how much.
Yes.
Don't start with how much.
Yes.
Because it's very possible that you will go for cheap. You make a decision on the basis of cost.
Yes.
And compromise on the basis, the technical
services that are being offered.
Yes. And also ask about the aftercare program.
Yes. So what do you advise to people? Because it's really a big problem. That's like recycling it. It's a big problem when someone starts now saying, okay, can't you reduce? What do you do in case someone says, we don't have the money yet, but we are looking? Or can't you give us at a lower price?
Okay. Every institution runs differently. I can't speak for everybody, but I'll speak for Africa Retreat Center.
Yes.
Okay. So the costs we charge for our services are actually arrived at very, very carefully.
Standardized according to the services.
Yes.
Yes.
We know we charge that amount because that is what we know it will take to offer the service.
Yes.
It sounds sometimes a lot because you're looking at a lump sum figure. So there's usually very little wiggle room for reducing the cost because you don't want to compromise on the service level or the care, the care of the person.
Yes.
You don't want to compromise on that. So what I normally say to people is that, look, one of the things that the big components of this problem is the medical side.
Yes.
Okay. So I cannot make a decision on costs as if we are talking about the cost of a sheep.
Yes.
Okay, or a goat or a cow.
Yes.
Okay? This person is coming into treatment. Let's make that decision when the person comes. Okay. We shall see what discounts we might extend to you based on how the person is when they arrive. Sometimes the person I might tell you so much money, and when it comes, they also have another chronic condition which you have to manage concurrently. And then we have to have a conversation about money.
Yes. Sometimes it actually goes up.
It goes up.
Yes.
Yes. It might be that the person is coming in for addiction, and that we didn't talk about. We probably need a few minutes for that. You might come with an alcohol problem. They start the program, then you discover that no, alcohol, the drinking, the alcohol use disorder is the secondary problem. Okay. This person has an underlying mental health problem which needs to be addressed. So at that point, we begin a conversation on now the treatment program. Because after detox, the person might begin exhibiting symptoms of another disorder altogether. So we cannot talk about money flat out without actually looking at what we are doing.
And I think that's very important because people always talk about money before.
Yes.
And you can't blame them because it is it is usually the difference between whether someone gets help or like someone who told me, I'll first finish my roof. If there's anything remaining, maybe the priority. But there's also something else which I tell people who consult with me.
Yeah.
And I tell them that, you see, when you look at the lump sum of this money and you say, we don't have this money now. Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
The problem is that where this addiction is taking the person, especially with substance, you're looking at more difficult problems or more serious problems.
Yeah, it's progressive.
You are coming, you are now leaving the addiction and you're going to having liver cirrhosis or you're going to having organ failure or dialysis.
Yes.
And when you get there, you will have no choice whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
There is no one who has been told to go for dialysis unless they truly have nowhere to get it from. That will fail.
And thank you said that, because when you're told go for dialysis, No one says it's too much
It's
money.
too much.
Okay? When you're told you need to go for chemotherapy, you have cancer, no one says that's too much money. You know?
Yes.
But when it comes to this illness, for some reason, because of not understanding,
yes,
people think it's a figure arrived out randomly.
Someone said that these are luxurious problems.
Yes.
It is like, so I said, okay, fine. If you used to say diabetes is a rich man's disease. So if a person gets diabetes, you'll not do anything. Anyhow, like I told you, I warned you at the beginning of the show that 2 hours is a very short time.
Yes.
And I think you can still see we've left out a lot.
A lot.
But still that allows us to come back to having a comprehensive talk, especially about what addiction entails, what we have left out, what we haven't talked about, and also about the governing body, that APRAO.
Yes.
So, in 1 minute, in 30 seconds, please, your closing remarks.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Bill for this platform for us to talk. I think it's been very nice. To thank the listeners as well. To all of you who are out there and listening, or to someone you know who needs to hear this, okay? Addictions are disorders, mental disorders, and they are treatable. They are not a moral failing. They are not just someone being bad-mannered. Okay, they are treatable, and in most cases, somebody can be set back on the path to recovery. When someone is using alcohol and drugs, they do things that are very antisocial and morally questionable.